All right, we are live. Barstool Units, episode 44. We are both in a new place now.
Yep. Oops. I hit something. I'm trying to get the exact comfort angle right now. It's a little bit something to work out.
Yeah, and my camera's a bit grainy, but this is just
We'll
some.
figure it out. We'll figure
We'll,
it out.
we'll figure it out. But yeah, there's a lot to go over. A lot to go over. I'm officially up in New Jersey now, and I'm Frank and I are staying at the same complex, so. We wanted a unit house. We ended up with a whole unit complex, so there's a lot to go over there. But I'm excited to be up here, Frank.
Yep. Things are finally uh, falling into place. I've significantly decked my halls.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we were just this is just the beauty of staying in the same place. We were just watching Thursday night football. I'm glad you had something to do rather than watch the game. You were decorating while watching the game, something to take your mind off of it. I was watching the game, and how
It was
sad.
it was not a good game for most of the night.
No.
Ben Roethlisberger, I mean, and Boyd when he stood over Harris, that seemed like just infused life into Steelers.
Yeah.
And the Vikings, this game should not have been close.
No. They were up, what, 29,
Vikings
6 at the half?
29-0
Yeah.
early in the middle of the third quarter. It was 29-0. And then Boyd stood over. The Steelers had a couple of big plays, a couple of big interceptions. I mean, the Dalvin Cook was running the ball at will, and all of a sudden they said, "Okay, you know what? Let's have Kirk Cousins, who's only completed about 30% of his passes tonight. Let's have him try to pass it." And then Justin Jefferson was dropping everything. I mean, he got the Venus de Milo award tonight.
Yeah, he did. Well, and it was, a pass here or there off the fingers, it's whatever, but I think he had at least four drop passes, two of which were would have been for touchdowns. Um,
And and then they get that touchdown to go back up 16, and they're driving. They're across midfield, and Ben Roethlisberger like threw it right to the Steelers, and that like 5 minutes left, Pittsburgh's right back in the game, and instead of trying to run out the clock, they have Kirk Cousins trying to pass out the clock. He can't. Jefferson's dropping passes. His passes are going in every different direction. Where's Cook? I mean, Mike Zimmer, what a horrific coaching job tonight. And then Pittsburgh almost has a chance to tie the game, and you have Chase Claypool. First down! Woo, yeah, 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 yeah. No timeouts. Cost his team. And maybe they have another chance to try to tie the game if he doesn't do that shit.
yeah, I think I counted it out. It's at least 10 seconds because it's not just him giving the first down signal. The offensive lineman has to come over, tries to grab the ball. The ball gets loose. The referees has to run for it. I think by he made the movement at 37 seconds. By the time Ben Roethlisberger spiked the ball, it was 24 seconds on the clock. I mean,
I mean, it
that's
was
that's that's at least two or three plays right there. And Fryermuth, I think it hit his hands in the end zone, but that's not on him. It's that's not.
no, that was a good defensive play.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I think the only player that actually looked good tonight was Dalvin Cook.
Yeah,
I said it in when he came out in 2017, I think.
yeah.
Maybe 2016. Yeah, 2017. I wish the Jaguars would have drafted him over Leonard Fournette. Now, obviously, Fournette's a Super Bowl winning running back now in Tampa Bay, but you know what? No, I'm glad that Dalvin is having a great career. If he came to Jacksonville, he probably would not have had it. So I wish the Jaguars would have got him, but I'm happy for him.
What's the dysfunction with the Jaguars that that team that was so close that made it to the AFC Championship game looked good, added Calais Campbell,
Mhm.
just fell apart so
Yeah,
fast, and now you have Urban Meyer, and he is going if the Jaguars don't fire Urban Meyer. He's going to ruin Trevor Lawrence.
That's a good possibility. It's a good and when people ask me like, "Oh, hey, how do you feel about drafting Trevor Lawrence?" We were going to get Trevor Lawrence no matter who the coach was. He was the first round. He was the first pick. He was coming to Jacksonville no matter what. That was my number one concern, was that Jacksonville would ruin him. And if Urban stays, I mean, it's not even so much that, oh, he's going to have a bad season. It's that this is critical time for him to learn and become an NFL quarterback.
Not all rookies come to the NFL and find it right away. Yeah. You know, everyone's talking about Mac Jones having a great season. Mac Jones had 3 pass attempts on Monday night.
Yeah.
And the Patriots still beat the fraudulent Buffalo Bills.
You know, sometimes that's all you need.
And, but so Mac Jones is being put in situations where he can be successful. The Jaguars are putting Trevor Lawrence in situations to fail.
Yeah.
And Urban Meyer is not helping. He doesn't. He has no. Everyone else is to blame. He's not to blame.
If I hear one more time him answer a reporter, he's answered multiple times. A reporter has asked him a question about a player being in the game, and each time it's, "Oh, I don't micromanage which players."
I keep dropping everything.
Hey, it's a new set. It's a new set, Frank. You know, there's going to be props moving around. But yeah, he takes no responsibility.
And it makes him look like a worse coach than he actually is, or maybe he just is that bad. You know, there's certain coaches that don't belong in the NFL, and he does not belong in the NFL.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping he realizes that, or the Jaguars realize that. It still gets me that, like, the Jaguars went out and recruited him. Shad Khan went out and wanted him to be the coach. They recruited him. It's not all his fault. It's the Jaguars organization. And credit to Brandon Walker. Brandon Walker came over to his desk the other day when he was interviewing Tony Khan. He goes, "Guess who I'm interviewing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw. It's Tony, isn't it?" And he says, "Yeah, do you have any questions for him?" And I said, "No, I don't think there's going to be that many people that would be interested in a Jaguar question for Tony Khan on a wrestling, podcast." But I dropped the ball on that. Credit to Brandon Walker for giving me the opportunity to question him. But I mean, where would I even start to what's wrong with that organization?
Well, I did talk to him in the bathroom and tell him that the Buffalo Bills are frauds.
That's a funny little story.
Yeah, well, I was talking to Jack McCarthy, and I'm going back and forth. The Bills are frauds because they are frauds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Patriots basically told the Bills, "Yeah, we're going to run the ball, and you can't stop it," and they couldn't stop it.
Yeah. Now, you didn't know, so you were just talking to Jack McCarthy, and some guy walks in to use the bathroom. He overhears you talking about the fraudulent Bills. What does it say?
He says basically, "Oh, they're good in dime packages." I says, "Yeah, well, so they should have got out of dime and gone heavy." The fact that they couldn't stop the Patriots proves that they're frauds.
Yeah. And then later on, you found out that was Tony Khan.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's very funny. But hey, that's the kind of thing that can happen in the Barstool office,
Yep, that and dapping up David Ortiz,
Yep.
Just a run-of-the-mill day at Barstool.
It's awesome. It's just that's a Barstool office. I haven't been there long enough to not kind of fanboy out and be like, David Ortiz came in to do the rundown, and I'm like, "Oh, David Ortiz is here." I'm still, not fanboy or anything. It's not like I'm a huge Boston Red Sox fan, but it's David Ortiz,
There's a highly probable chance that 1 month from now he'll be voted and announced as a member of the 2022 Hall of Fame class.
Yeah, exactly.
Along with Gil Hodges. Finally, Gil Hodges getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and possibly Barry Bonds.
I hope so.
You think this will be the year where enough people say, you know what, we're done with it. We know what happened, and we're not.
It is ridiculous. Like Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before he took his first PE date.
Yeah,
If Barry Bonds didn't use steroids, he would have still hit 500 homers.
just not as soon.
What?
Just not as quickly.
No, he wouldn't have done it as quickly. But then again, by the time he started using steroids, he was already near 400.
Yeah,
Or over 400. He was over 400. You see, Barry Bonds used steroids because McGuire and Sosa did. He saw all the press they got, and he looked at them and said, I'm 10 times the motherfucking player that I am, that they are.
yeah.
If I use something, just watch out. He'd already won 3 MVPs. He was already the best player in the National League in the 90s. He would have had similar numbers to Ken Griffey Jr. He would have probably hit close to 600 homers in his career. He's one of the only players to go 400 homers, 400 stolen bases. He had a 40-40 season before the steroids. He probably should have won 4 straight MVPs. He won 3 in 4 years. They gave one to Terry Pendleton in '91. He finished second. It was close second. He probably should have been the MVP that year too. So
He needs to be.
This is his resume without steroids.
Yeah, that's a pretty good resume.
And yeah, he used, but you know what? You're going to end the steroid shit by putting him in a Hall of Fame and just saying, played in the steroid era. We had an era 100 years ago called the dead ball era, where pitchers were allowed to soak the baseball. Ball was like a rock. And the ball was played. If a ball today now a ball gets hit on the ground, they throw it out of play. So the ball's juiced up now. I mean, in 2019 they admitted to juicing up the ball. The ball bounded was every team hit their home run records. Obscene amount of home runs. That's no different than using steroids. And so many people use steroids. You know, at a certain point, you had to use steroids to level even the playing field. It wasn't policed. If it's not policed and you can use it and you know it's safe, then you're doing a disservice by not using steroids. And Bud Selig's in the Hall of Fame, and he allowed it.
It was just part of the game during that era.
It was part of the game. It's unfortunate that some of these records got kind of tarnished, but you know what? I don't blame the players, except Posick and Sanko.
Of course. Well, he's a
I blame him.
He's a rat.
Well, this will be like the guy saying that, ladies and gentlemen, I have invented cocaine. Everyone, let's have a line, snort the cocaine. And then going 10 years later, okay, I taught everyone how to use cocaine. Here's all the people I taught. That's a rat.
A rat.
A rat. He, in the 70s and 80s and 60s and 50s, they thought that if you lifted too many weights, you made yourself a bad baseball player. You'd be too muscle bound. You couldn't hit the ball. Jose Canseco, who was about to be out of baseball, started using steroids while he was in the minors, and all of a sudden he shot up to the top prospect list, and everyone said, "Oh wow, this guy wasn't that good." He was Ozzie Canseco. Ozzie Canseco sucked, and so he gets to the minors, and he goes up over to Mark McGwire and says, "Here, this helped me hit more home runs." The two of them, the Bash brothers, are pounding their forearms. The A's are winning 3 straight pennants. Everyone else says, "Wow, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that." And all of a sudden, it starts like a wildfire. Jose Canseco brought steroids into baseball.
Yeah.
And then he writes the book exposing steroids in baseball. That Congress goes, Oh, we gotta act. We're Congress. We have nothing better to do. A bunch of blowhard fucking politicians.
Yeah, as if they have a say in Major League Baseball. But yeah, so that's yeah. So Jose Canseco using, nobody cares that he used steroids. They said he was a rat.
Yeah, it's a rat.
He's a
You
rat.
can't be the guy that created the steroids in baseball, and then write a book telling all the players that you taught how to use steroids.
Yeah, and just no free ads or anything. But if you take that book down to Jose Canseco's car wash on Tuesday between 12 and 2, he might sign it for you.
Do we have to give him any cheese?
Yeah, he's a rat.
A
Well,
rat.
speaking of Jose Canseco, speaking of him being a dirty, rotten, losing rat, scoundrel, bastard, piece of shit he is, Rough and Rowdy's tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, Rough and Rowdy.
I guess today we're releasing it tomorrow.
Well, it is after midnight now. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's today. Unfortunately, I won't be there this time, but I'll be at the watch party in Calabrias. You know, this things didn't work out this time. I wanted to actually go to Army Navy. They know I wanted to go to Army Navy. Army Navy is kind of like a bucket list game for me. I mean, I don't know when it's going to be at the Meadowlands again. So basically, it was a situation where I couldn't go to the game, go to Rough and Rowdy, and they couldn't get me back in time because getting to Charleston, where the Rough and Rowdy is from New York, is kind of a pain. I was able to finagle it this year to go see the Kuzman retirement ceremony, the number retirement, but then that game began at 7, and to get back, I had to take a 6 o'clock flight from Charleston to Chicago. I only had like less than an hour to run through 3 terminals to get to my crossover plane back to Newark. Landed in Newark, dropped my bags, and basically get ready to go out to the Met game to get the Jerry Kuzman bobblehead and watch the retirement, his number retired. So it was like going through a lot of hoops, and it would have, even though the Meadowlands is closer, the game begins at 3. The ceremony is in pomp and circumstances go way before the game.
Yeah.
Which I want to see.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out. But I would hopefully I'll be at Rough and Rowdy 17, and hopefully Jersey Jerry knocks Nadu's block off.
Absolutely. I think we're all Team Jersey Jerry. He's a wild man. We love him. And, I told Jerry when he first put out the video of him training, I told him, I said, you might not want to put too many of these videos out because him hitting that bag and like actually training, I mean, if he hits Nadu with one of those right hooks, Nadu's going down. It's that simple. I don't care about, I think Jerry even said this on the Dave Portnoy show. Cardio does not matter when you get hit in the mouth, and that's what I expect. I expect Jerry to come out swinging. And from what I heard on the Dave Portnoy show, Jeff Nadu has incentives to keep going further rounds. So obviously, the longer he lasts, the more money he's going to make. But at a certain point, if you're knocked out, you're knocked out. I have no ill will towards Nadu. I've talked.
Neither do I. Although I've had some troubles with him.
Oh yeah.
He is who he is. I'm not like Rico Bosco, who just, even though I think Rico Bosco hatred to him is more just Rico being Rico.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't like each other. It's clear.
Yeah.
But Rico really lays it on.
Yeah. Well, so our prediction is Jersey Jerry. What how many rounds do you think Nadu will last with him?
I think Nadu goes down middle second round.
That's fair. That's a good possibility. I think if Jerry hits him with one good right hook, Nadeau will go down in the first.
I think what we'll see is Nadeau will get hit hard and will be hurt, and it'll be like kind of saved by the bell in the first round, and then the second round will begin, and the onslaught will continue, and the ref will stop the fight.
Oh, you think the ref will stop it? Okay, that's
Yes.
fair. Well, I tell you what, I'm excited to watch it. Like I said, like you said, we'll be at Calabria's. Wonderful family, great pizza. They've always been super nice to us. Dave gave them an 8.9, and I've heard there's going to be a buffet.
Yeah, there's gonna be a buffet. We'll have pizza. We'll have everything.
Yeah, we'll have to live stream. Obviously, people will be watching Rough and Rowdy by rnr.com, but I think maybe for the last fight at least we'll get our reactions and everything while we live stream. But Frank, I talked to you about this a while back. Pretty soon, and now is soon, we are going to have too many events to go to. We're gonna have. It's a good problem to have.
Well, you saw that I couldn't that the rough and rowdy thing didn't work out this time because I want to go to Army Navy.
I know that's what I'm talking about. There's too many sporting events to go to. We're going
I
to have
mean,
to be
the Devils brought back my tickets for Friday. I'm not going to the Devil game on Friday night.
How did the sorry. I heard your ticket guy say they had like a buyback program. How does that work?
Basically, if you can't make a game, the Devils will buy back your tickets and then they'll sell them to someone else.
Oh, if they can sell them,
Then it'll basically go like take off a payment for next year or something like that, a little bit off, something like that. I think that's how the program works.
if they can't sell them, you're just stuck with them?
No, they already brought it back.
Sorry. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I'm so
I
excited.
don't know the full details, but basically they got the tickets back. So
Yeah.
it'll take some like a little bit of money off one of my monthly payments.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what, it's gonna be a busy weekend for sure with Rough and Rowdy, and then Army Navy game.
Uh, yep. Sunday we got some football. Dolphins are off this week. Sunday night. Now this is gonna be interesting. While watching probably one of the worst Sunday night games of the year, Packers and Bears. I don't care if it's a great rivalry. The Bears stink.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the Bears get embarrassed on Sunday nights. The Bears stink.
I don't think Bears
After,
see it.
the Big Cat says it's like NBC is like punishing him. I mean, the Bears stink, and as Aaron Rodgers says, I owned them, and you can't argue. He owns them, and it's not going to be a good game. They need to flex that game out.
I think if they were going to do it, they would have done it a week ago.
Well, no, they could have. They knew a week ago that the Bears were bad. The Bears barely beat the Lions on Thanksgiving. The Bears are a bad football team.
And that's a little bit of Schadenfreude, like knowing, okay, hey, the Bears are bad. Like maybe the Jaguars aren't terrible. The Jaguars are terrible, but at least we're not alone at the bottom of the barrel.
Well, and the Bears are even worse off.
Why is that?
You'll be using your pick this year to get a good player, and if you have a good coach, maybe you can start turning things around. I mean, Peyton Manning stunk it up his first year. Then they got Edwin James, and all of a sudden they went 13-3.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Jaguars are going to turn around like that,
No.
but get a good player, get a good coach, fire Urban Meyer,
That'd be nice.
and you never know.
Yeah. And I guess Troy Aikman went 1-15 his first year?
And he didn't even get the Steve Walsh started the game they won.
Nice. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not being totally negative. I think they could definitely turn it around, but there are little things here or there, such as keeping Urban Meyer. It doesn't look good. we're not headed in the right direction.
I mean, it is just it's bad. It truly is bad. I and that's what I don't like about Remind. He doesn't seem to be doesn't he doesn't he doesn't take accountability, and that's bad. And he hurts the development of uh, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah. If you're not taking responsibility, what are you doing? Just leave. And I have no problem. Listen, at the end of the season, if they were like, hey, it didn't work out, we're splitting up amicably, awesome, cool, great, no ill will, no hurt feelings. See you later, goodbye. But I have a feeling, I have a strong feeling they're going to keep him. If they were going to get rid of, they would have already done it by now.
And I think that is a huge mistake.
Shad Khan does not have a great track record of firing coaches when they should be fired. He usually waits a season or two later.
That is a huge mistake.
Yep. But that's my life as a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, and that is my burden to bear.
Yeah. Now, we mentioned at the start of the show that you're now living just a few floors above me.
Yep. Nah, not directly above you, but yeah.
No, but yeah.
Pretty close.
I mean, you're finally up in New Jersey full time.
Yep.
You finally made a big move.
Yep.
You're still getting settled in. You got more things to do.
Yeah, there's nothing. I have nothing. I have a closet with a few clothes hanging up, and this chair and this laptop. That's about it.
So it will take you a few weeks to get as settled in as I am.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
But how did the move go for you?
Yeah, it was rough. I actually did not plan on being in this complex. I wanted to be much closer to the office. Coming from Florida, I've never lived more than 15 minutes away from work. Wake up in the morning, drive myself to work, and it takes 15 minutes and I'm there. Moving up here, I wanted to be in Hoboken. Hoboken was a little too expensive for me, so I decided to move, find a place in Journal Square. You were thankful, and thankfully you and Abe, your godbrother, went out and did the FaceTime, review of the place, took a little tour. There were some things that needed to be worked on, like pipes hanging out of the wall, some appliance, the bathtub appliance, or the handle and the faucet and everything needed to be added to it. I drove up 14 hours. 14 hours I drove, and about a few hours outside the city, I text messaged the agent, and his brother calls me and says, "Hey, my brother's today's his day off. Also, are you just getting the keys or are you moving in?" That's a silly question. I'm driving 14 hours from Florida to New Jersey with a Tahoe full of clothes and whatever else I have to get keys. Why would I not move in today? So I get up there, and none of the stuff that needed to be done was done. They had a lot of work to do, and basically they wanted us to move in, me and my roommate, to move into a non-finished, non-move-in ready apartment. I have property in Florida. I would never expect someone to move into a place that's not finished. I know how that goes. There is a possibility, to the benefit of the doubt, whatever you want to say, there is a possibility that they would have had workers in there the next 2 or 3 days, and everything would have been finished. That is a possibility I will give them. In my head, that is not a chance that I am willing to take. I would resent myself entirely if I moved into a place that was not move-in ready, knowing that, or in my head thinking that none of this stuff is going to get fixed, and I'm going to have to deal with a bad landlord.
And I remember when you were FaceTiming, you basically told him, he basically was like, "Oh, well, we want this place filled right away." So did you come up here real fast?
Yeah, because I told him I was in Florida, and he was like, "Oh, well, we're looking for somebody to move in right away." I'm like, "All right, let's move in right away." So they rushed me up there, but hey, it all worked out in the end. They rushed me up there, stayed at a hotel. I told them no, like I'm not, I had to threaten. It's so silly. I've never had to do this before in my life. The agent basically told me that he wasn't going to give us our security deposit back, which was, I think it was like $3,400, and so I basically just told him, I'll contact an attorney. I'll contact the New Jersey Real Estate Commission. And I said that once. He said, okay, we'll do that. Go contact a lawyer. I said, all right. And once he said, okay, fine, do it. And I said, okay. We went back and forth a couple of times, but I think the final straw was when I told him, okay, I'm going to contact a lawyer. Please do not contact me again. That's really dropping the mic, because that's not saying, that's not an open threat. That's just saying, hey, I'm going to contact my lawyer. Don't talk to me anymore. I'm not going to communicate with you anymore. And then he ended up sending it right away.
I mean, he didn't live up to his end of the bargain on the contract. So.
No. And we didn't even have a fully signed lease. Now, it was stupid of me to send a full security deposit to hold the apartment. I should not have sent the full security deposit, but that's just me. Thinking everything was going to work out well, but I've learned my lesson. It won't happen again, and I am now living in the big city, and that is a lesson learned.
And just think it's a modern apartment, brand new.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
You're close to the Newark Light Rail, which is an adventure to ride sometimes. But going to Newark Penn Station is an adventure.
Everything worked out. Everything really did work out. I'm in a brand new place. It's near the light rail. It's brand new construction. That was my main thing, is I didn't want to be that far from work. I didn't want to have a long commute. However, if the commute is hopping on the light rail, which is right next door, and then changing trains at Newark, that's not a bad commute. I'll do that all day.
And the light rail runs every 10 minutes, so.
Yeah, exactly. And this place, like I said, this place is brand new, but they have a bocce court, they have a pool table, they have outdoor patio stuff. They have a whole courtyard. I think we'll go out when the weather starts to get a little bit warmer. We'll get out there and do some yoga in the courtyard.
Yep, I'll do some grilling.
Oh yeah,
it's been so long since I've been able to grill.
Yeah, because you couldn't have a grill at your old apartment, right?
Nope.
You couldn't have a grill at your old apartment. They supply a grill at this apartment.
Yeah, and there's several grills.
Yeah.
There's grills on the patio, there's grills in the courtyard.
This is going to work out pretty well. I will say this. So we were just watching Thursday Night Football in your apartment. I did pass a few people coming down the hallway, and it did feel like an awkward walk of shame, because I'm holding my shoes that I took off because I'm staying in the building. I'm not going to put my shoes back on and so I'm just like passing like this lady and her kid and this guy walking his dog, and it felt like it's like midnight, and I'm holding my shoe. I'm holding my shoes as I'm walking quietly down the hallway. And I'm like, it felt odd, but I'm going to get used to it though.
What business deserves if you're holding your shoes?
Right? It's 2021. They need to stay out of my business.
I occasionally walk down the hallway to the garbage chute without my shoes on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing. They have the garbage chutes here. It's a nice place. It's a real nice place.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So you've got your place pretty much decked out. You're starting to decorate with Christmas, all the Christmas decorations. You got your
Yep.
trees.
Yep. I significantly decked the halls, I would say.
Nice.
And complete with a Met star on the shining on the highest bough. Hang
Yeah.
a Met star upon the highest bough.
Oh.
And of course, you could tell this is a tree that would be just perfect. My Christmas tree. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, and then of course I still have my decorations all around.
Oh yeah.
I even have Met candy canes right here. Look at that, Met candy canes.
Nice. Now, speaking of Christmas and being in the holiday spirit, you told me this while we were in your apartment. I can't believe this is something you seriously do. You told people to email you if they want a Christmas card.
Yeah,
How's that working out, Frank?
I'm going to need a lot of stamps and probably have to buy about 2 or 3 boxes of Christmas cards.
So you're really going to do it?
I'm really going to do it.
We're not talking about an email Christmas card where you're going to email them a picture. You are
No,
you are going to have actual physical Christmas cards that you're going to mail out to people.
yep. I'll probably have to buy some sort of labeling system where I can print out labels and make it easier on me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say so. As I used to when I was breaking boxes of cards, and I had 30 people, 20 people on. It was a lot of work writing out 30 labels, to different addresses, different names.
Yeah.
How many, how many
So I got
people?
to
How many people have already signed up for your Christmas card?
from somewhere in the neighborhood of 100.
And that's only within the past like couple hours.
Yep.
God bless you, Frank.
I'm the man of the people.
You are a man of the people. I'm sure I will get talked into helping you out some way, somehow with these, which I will be happy to do.
Well,
But
yep. I just got to go out tomorrow, buy some more Christmas cards. Friday I typically don't go to the office. I do some running around
mhm,
that I need to do.
yeah,
So I'll buy some Christmas cards, buy some stamps. I got to take my uncle over to Costco on Sunday.
yeah, yeah. I I may get a Costco membership. I may get a Costco membership. But I need one in order to get a hot dog.
Well, I've never reviewed a Costco hot dog.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Yep.
where that Costco is, there's no need to review that hot dog.
What do
You
you
just
mean?
go outside.
Oh yeah, but there's another Costco that I go to sometimes. It's a better store that I go that I take my uncle to in Wayne because there's actually parking.
Oh,
The
that's it.
Costco, the Costco that's by Russ Hutton Clifton is
Yeah,
probably the worst Costco. There's only one lane to drive in and out of that place, and the line is just ridiculous.
yeah,
I mean, they should have another exit in the parking lot.
yeah. We went to the Target out in Clifton, and it's busy. It's packed out there.
Yeah, well, try to go to the Bed Bath and Beyond. That's really
Yeah,
affected by Costco, and the Bed Bath and Beyond is across the highway.
yeah, no, yeah,
So, so if I'm trying to drive to Bed Bath and Beyond, I have to go through Costco traffic to get there. And there's times where I actually go on the highway about 150 feet just to avoid the Costco traffic.
yeah.
That area between the highway and Costco is just a bottleneck.
Hmm.
And Costco, trying to get out of Costco is hard. To click from Costco, and that parking lot is always packed. You have to like the walk the halfway to Passaic to get to the
Yeah.
Costco.
People love Costco.
It's a good store.
No free ads though. Sam's Club is just as good, I'm sure, and BJ's.
Also have a BJ's membership too.
Yeah. So no free ads. Any of those are good.
Yeah, they're all good.
They're all
Never been to a Sam's. I've never been to a Sam's Club.
really.
Nope.
It's the same.
I don't even know where there's a Sam's Club anywhere near here. So
Yeah, I'm not sure if there. Oh, there's one next to Walmart in Secaucus.
ah,
Secaucus. That was weird seeing a Walmart and a Sam's Club in the same parking lot. That is driving in Secaucus was. I thought I had the smart idea of going to the back of the parking lot in order to drive through the parking lot. Well, as I took a right to go down the lane, it looked like Mad Max Fury Road. There's just like literally, I don't know I'm trying to think of the word, just 4 or 5 cars, trucks, minivans, all going like diagonally across the parking lot. And
yeah, but keep in mind what day you were going.
yeah, well, it was that Saturday, yeah, or no, Sunday.
You were there Saturday, and now Bergen County has blue laws, so all the WalMarts are closed.
Let's talk about this. Okay, so I have told myself that I will not get frustrated with New Jersey and how antiquated a lot of the things are, and how obviously, just how ingrained with corruption things are. I've told myself, hey, don't get frustrated. You've chosen this life. You've chosen to live in the big city. Just laugh it off and go with it. These blue laws, where you're telling me that there are certain counties in New Jersey, one county in New Jersey, that they don't have retail sales
on Sunday. No,
like retail,
and they have the 2 largest malls in New Jersey are both in Bergen County. And I'm talking about the American Dream, which just opened.
Yep.
And Garden State Plaza.
So how does that work? How does the American Dream, how are they in that county?
Because the Meadowlands is in Bergen County.
But so do the blue laws affect the American Dream?
Yes.
So retail stores in American Dream are closed on Sunday?
Yes.
What else is open besides retail stores? When you say retail, what are we talking about retail here?
Buying furniture, buying clothes, electronics. Yeah, you can buy food. Food stores are allowed to be open.
But you can't buy a pair of jeans.
No. And you could drive to Secaucus, which is in Hudson County, and buy your jeans, or Essex County, buy your jeans. You just can't buy them in Bergen County.
Here's why this is ridiculous to me. I don't think there's any more blue laws counties in Florida. Blue law in Florida, we talk about like their moral laws, and it's mainly like, oh hey, you can't buy alcohol on Sunday.
And when it comes to Bergen County, it's the wealthy county. You have a lot of wealthy districts, and it's the residents of Paramus, New Jersey, who live in and around Garden State Plaza, who don't want traffic on Sunday. And that is what's keeping the blue laws alive.
And that's weird because it's again in Florida, it's about alcohol. It's a moral issue, like it's prohibited.
In New Jersey, it's about don't drive. I don't want traffic waking me up on Sunday.
That's wild. I'm still getting, like I said, I'm not going to get frustrated with anything New Jersey. I'm actually looking forward to it. It'll be a learning experience.
And And with the American Dream, it's kind of fortunate they have the blue laws because if people were driving like mad to the American Dream and a Giants or Jet game was going on at the same time, we're talking a total major clusterfuck.
Yeah.
I mean, if they ever repeal the blue laws, they would have to have them all closed probably on Giant and Jet home games.
You think so?
It would be a disaster traffic wise.
That's just living in the big city, right? It's just life in the big city. Another thing, so we've rode the light rail, which is kind of like a trolley slash subway kind of system.
Yeah,
They don't check tickets.
yeah.
Now the PA system says you must have a ticket. You must have a ticket. Please show your ticket when asked to show your ticket. They don't
They'll
ask.
send people. They'll send people out there sometimes. If you don't have a ticket, you get a different type of ticket, a fair jumping ticket, and that comes with a hefty fine.
See, now I heard that fair jumping or whatever you call it was okay. Is that only in New York City?
Well, it's not okay, but sometimes
Okay. Let me strike that from the record. I heard that no one the law would not come after you if you broke that law. If you don't
not
pay
unless
fair,
not unless you're caught and there's a cop that wants to fill out the paperwork.
which I mean, who does? Who wants to fill out paperwork? Nobody.
So yeah, it's basically you're living by the honor system.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I have to say, I feel like a schmuck when I'm spending $1.60 to ride it each time, and I feel like I'm the only one paying for it.
Now if you download the New Jersey Transit app and buy them 20 in a 20 pack, there is a slight discount.
Oh, okay. A slight discount for a ticket that I probably don't even have to pay for anyway.
Well, you also get discounts on the ticket that you have to pay for that they always look at, maybe 2 or 3 times. I just looked at your ticket. We're at another stop. Yeah, no, let me look at your ticket again. Yeah, let me see that ticket again. Yeah, let me see that ticket again. All right. Okay, we had 7 people on this train to look at the tickets.
Yeah. It's again though, I'm not getting frustrated by it. That's New Jersey. That's New York. Just life in the big city.
You know what I like about you know what I like about New Jersey Transit and their stations is most places the escalators being out of service is an anomaly. In New Jersey, the escalators working is an anomaly.
Yeah, it's a nice little surprise. Like when you turn the corner and you're expecting a staircase, but the staircase is moving, and you're like, "Wow, that's pretty cool."
And in New Jersey, you see when we see a broken railing, we just wrap a little tape on it. I
Yeah,
mean, that tape could be on there 3, 4 months. It might fall down, and they might have to put new tape on it before they actually, you know, get a screw and put it in the hole
yeah,
and turn it.
yeah. That
You see,
I would
you
actually I
see,
would be impressed if they replaced the tape. Like if the old tape was so like if they had to replace it and put new caution tape on it before they actually fixed it, I would say hats off to you, New Jersey Transit.
and it took them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days to get the tape. Who knows how long that railing has been broken?
Yeah,
The first time I encountered the railing was Monday, and I almost fell on my ass reaching out for the railing, and all of a sudden the railing gives, and
yeah,
you don't expect it.
no. Well, like you said earlier, if we had $1 for every escalator that didn't work on New Jersey Transit, we'd have enough money to fix the escalators that don't work on New Jersey Transit.
I mean, it's bad, and you know what I love about New Jersey Transit also is people with their bags, especially their luggage and their scooters. You have these nice railings that just hang over every seat. Not nobody uses those racks. So the luggage is like in the alleys, in the way. You have to like duck and dodge these bags and these luggages when there's racks just for that. But
Yeah.
nobody, absolutely nobody uses it.
No. No.
And the conductor, there's certain stations that only that are the platform is too small, so they can only unload on one car. So everyone has to crowd in this front car here. And when the ticket takers go down the hall, is like ducking and dodging these bags. Never, they never say, you should put the bags up in the rack. No, never. No, they won't even help you get the bags in the rack.
Yeah. I mean, is that their job? Their job is to take the ticket and, not get shot.
And make sure that your mask is on.
Yes. Yeah, of course. You gotta have the mask on. Gotta have the mask on. That was, I'm learning. I told you the other day when I was at Newark Penn, getting on the platform to head to Penn Station, New York City. Guy just yelling, today's not the day to mess with me because I'll shoot you right now. But here's the thing, Frank, he wasn't talking to me. So you know what I did?
You ignored it.
I ignored it. I kept walking. I minded my own business. And guess what? I didn't get shot. That's a win, Frank. Life in the big city, baby. I'm excited for it. I'm excited.
Yeah, when someone says I'm going to put a cap in your ass, you move because you might get the ricochet.
Exactly.
That's
But
not. He's not talking to you. That's someone else's ass that's going to have a cap put into it.
but
You
I'm
don't need to know. You don't need to wonder. You don't need to watch.
no. It's none of my business.
I mean, it's like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
Yep. Just mind my own business. Not my problem.
And I've seen some good fights on subways and
Oh,
trains
really?
over the years. Yeah.
I don't. I know. I know I'm gonna be tempted to jump in, just like stop it. I'm gonna have to hold back. I'm gonna have to hold back. Again, I don't. Again, we were talking about like rough and rowdy earlier. I don't like to see people fight. Like I'm not a big UFC guy. Like somebody hitting somebody else in the face, even as like mutual combat and sport and everything, I don't enjoy watching it. So whenever I see a fight, my initial instinct is like I need to break this up. Um, I have a feeling that will not be the case in New Jersey. That
No,
I might have that instinct, but I will resist heavily.
no. These are other people's problems.
But isn't that the problem though that everybody has that everybody thinks that?
Yeah, but that's that's life in the small town. Life in the
Yeah.
big city is you live and let live.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll be living and you'll be the one that ends up dying.
Yeah. I have noticed. I've seen some people, and I've noticed. I think most people. I think it's just a matter of congestion. I think it's a matter of population.
Oh, that's 100% what it is. It's
Most
everyone on top of each other.
Yeah, most people, I think, just are like they want to ride the subway to work. They want to work 8 hours and then ride the subway home. I think most people are just trying to get where they're going. They don't want any issues, and it's just But again, you have a million people. One or two people out of a million are going to be batshit crazy, and they're going to light a Christmas tree on fire.
Yeah. Well, he's behind. Oh, wait a second. They released him.
That's just listen. So we're watching. For those that don't know, there is a homeless man, clearly not mentally stable, a homeless man in New York City that lit I think it was the Fox News Christmas tree on fire.
The Fox News Christmas tree.
It might not have been Fox News. It was just Fox something. But it was a Christmas tree.
It's outside the Fox News studio.
It's okay. So it's a Fox News Christmas tree. They lit. It's not even a real Christmas tree. It's like metal. It's like a metal cone that they've put branches and stuff in or whatnot. It's a fake Christmas tree. Well, a guy lit it on fire, and they caught the guy. And we found out tonight that they caught him, they booked him, and then they released him without bail. And I feel
here's the best part. Here's the best part. He has 2 open bench warrants for failure to appear, and basically they're saying, "Okay, we think you're going to be here on January 4th."
It's like I feel like arson. It might not be arson to an individual. It might not be violence towards an individual, but I think someone lighting a Christmas tree on fire that may be a detriment to society. That may be a danger to the people in the public square.
Somebody could the sparks could fly, could land on somebody. The fireman could get injured.
Well, who knows what else is going to light on fire? I mean, if you just randomly light a Christmas tree on fire.
Plus, he's homeless. He doesn't have a steady home. I mean, what you mean, a shelter?
I don't know.
Sleeping at Penn Station? I mean, what if he wants to set Penn Station on fire? I mean, maybe he shouldn't be in jail. Maybe he should be in a mental hospital. I mean, let's put him in a mental hospital.
Yeah.
That he's got to be held for observation until the time of his trial. I mean, I've seen them do that in Jersey, where they've held people, and maybe they're drugs or sober them up or get them on medication, where they could clear their brains and clear their heads and to the point that they're somewhat functional in society and not setting fires. And
when I saw that he was released without bail after setting a pretty much like public display, like it's a big Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's not the problem. The issue is not that he set that on fire. It's just that he set something on fire. I mean,
yeah,
I'm a little worried about the guy being a danger to society.
Yeah, and so what I can just see it now in my head. The video montage of homeless man sets Christmas tree on fire, released without bail. Homeless man sets another Christmas tree on fire, like released without bail. Like, how many this is a question. How many Christmas trees do you have to set on fire before they put you away in a jail cell?
I don't know.
How many Christmas trees do you have to burn down in New York City before the government says, hey, that's too many? That's just life in the big city, baby. Just life in the big city. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to find out that number. That is an honest question. How many Christmas trees do you have to light on fire before the government takes it seriously?
Okay, you've burned down 7 Christmas trees. That's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, don't do it.
Next one will be the last one. Because if you set down an 8th one, we're going to have to give you a warning that if you do it one more time, you might go to jail.
Yeah, and that will be a verbal warning. And you don't want a verbal warning, because after a verbal warning comes a written warning.
And then comes double secret probation.
That is the New York criminal justice system. That's law and order, double secret probation. That's life in the big city. I'm happy to be up here. Obviously, I hope the guy doesn't burn anything down. I hope he gets help. However, I would absolutely laugh if he lights another one on fire. But I hope he doesn't.
Do. Ah, the oh Christmas tree, on fire are your branches, returning to the Yule log. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Yule log,
I don't know what Yule log is.
but the New York Yule log.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
Channel 11 WPIX for over 50 years now shows the Yule log on Christmas morning. And what the Yule log is, it was recorded in 1960 something. The fireplace at Gracie Mansion with Christmas music playing.
Nice.
And they've updated, did new filming later, a few years ago, updated some of the music, but it's always got a better quality recording, HD, of course.
Yeah.
But they'll have this Yule log on TV for like 4 hours.
You just turn the TV on. Your TV turns into a fireplace.
Yes.
Nice. Well, like I said, I hope he doesn't burn out another Christmas tree, even if it'd be funny.
Here's something that'd be funny. If he burns down the Christmas tree at Gracie Mansion, then he might actually go to jail.
Yeah. You can't do that. You can't do that. Well, especially, I mean, that's down there by Radio City Music Hall, isn't it? Like down there in New York City.
So's Fox News.
That's what I'm saying. All that stuff is down there.
Yeah, so he might have. I mean, nobody stands and watches the Fox News Christmas tree.
Yeah.
The Radio City Music, the Rockefeller Center.
Oh, yeah, Rockefeller. Yeah.
I mean, you got the Radio City.
It's a much bigger tree.
Yep, and you got the Radio City, and that's a real tree too.
Yeah, and it's a Christmas tree. It's a, what do they call them? It's an actual Christmas tree.
Yeah, and you got the
that thing will go
Radio City. You got Radio City going on again this year. It didn't happen last year, but the famous holiday spectacular is back with the Rockettes.
Yep. We'll have to make a trip out there sometime.
The holiday spectacular? Yeah, that'd be something interesting for someone new to New York.
Well, check out. Well, I saw the tree last year, but it hadn't lit up yet, or they had. I don't know if they were lighting it or whatnot. The lights, not a fire, like the actual lights. They hadn't lit it yet, but I would like to go out there. I'd like to, check out all the holiday stuff, and maybe while we're out there, we'll pay a visit to the MLB headquarters.
Oh yeah, you got to the protest Rob Manfred. Mets pitcher Trevor May has come out with his own brand of coffee. I said that Rob Manfred should come out with his own brand of coffee. The only thing is, it will taste like total bullshit.
And that's Barstool Units.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Click like and subscribe, fa la 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 la. See you next week. This is Units, fa la 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 la.